Hey guys, E3 is here. No, not the gaming expo event that just ended, but the new Wear OS powered smartwatch from Mobvoi. According to the company, the TicWatch E3 is an affordable alternative to the TicWatch Pro 3. And I believe Mobvoi has tried to accomplish that by making the right sacrifices. No fancy dual display or any other premium design choice here, but what the E3 retains from its Pro sibling is the all-powerful hardware underneath. Okay, kicking things off with the design, the TicWatch E3 skips all the bells and whistles for a basic yet classy look. The circular dial has been carved from polycarbonate and glass fiber material. The plastic bottom half does not scream luxury build material either, but hey, the E3 is not gunning for an elite design in the first place. Here you get a panther black case with a black strap by default, while Mobvoi says blue and yellow strap options are coming soon too. And if you happen to have a 20mm universal wristband lying around, you can easily switch up the visual flair. Anyways, this pre-installed silicone strap can fit any wrist size, and throughout my usage, it's been really comfortable. Okay, moving on, the right frame of the TicWatch E3 hosts two buttons for navigation. The power button on top takes you to the home screen or launches the menu, whereas the other one can be customized to launch an app of your choosing. Moreover, long pressing the former triggers Google Assistant, while a double press temporarily cranks up the illumination level. Besides the buttons, the right frame is where you'd find the microphone, and beneath it, what I am assuming an exhaust vent. Similarly, the left frame houses the speaker grill, whereas the other health tracking sensors are stacked on the bottom. With a circular dimension of 44 by 47 mm and a weight of 32 grams, I've had no problem wearing it to bed at night either. Talking about the display, while the TicWatch Pro 3 shipped with a head-turning dual display setup, that grandeur has been cut off on this low-cost alternative. Even though I did not mind the lack of a monochrome screen here, downgrading the AMOLED panel to an LCD one is somewhat disappointing. As a result, colors don't look as vibrant and punchy on this display, and then there's the power efficiency concern too. The TicWatch E3 screen does feature a 2.5D curvature for relatively premium look, and yeah, this does look nice. It also has IP68 dust and water resistance, but it does not have any Gorilla Glass protection here, so you will easily encounter some scratches in the long run. I wouldn't have to talk about this issue if only it were MIL standard 810G compliant like most other smartwatches in this price bracket. Plus, I feel like Mobvoi could have delivered a noticeably smaller looking bezel here just by installing a tachymeter or minute markings maybe. Now, getting back to the core display itself, packing a 360 by 360 resolution, everything from text to animation looks sufficiently sharp here. On the other hand, you can select from 5 levels of illumination on the TicWatch E3, although it would have been nice to see an auto brightness adjustment feature here. Despite this, I've had no issue regarding outdoor visibility on the TicWatch E3. Sure, things get a little difficult under direct sunlight, but it's not that big a deal. Okay, moving on, the Wear OS platform means that this smartwatch lets you choose from thousands of watch faces that you can download from the Play Store. The ones built in are no slouch either. I'm quite fond of this design called Futurist, which displays all the essential information in a pretty cool layout. Okay, getting to the UI side of things, you will find the Google Assistant menu to the left of the home screen, whereas all the widgets or titles, as Google likes to call it, are located on the right. Likewise, all the incoming notifications are time-stamped and chronologically stored on the bottom layout of the UI. Unseen notifications are also marked with a little icon that makes things relatively easier. Similarly, the command center on the top is home to the settings menu alongside brightness control, DND, airplane mode, and other options. The Mobvoi TicWatch E3 also supports music playback control, which gets its place in the command center as well. Despite featuring an LCD panel, this smartwatch also supports always-on display where it grayscales the watch face. Here, both the raise to wake and tap to wake functions work perfectly fine. Moreover, the Wear OS gestures like flick to launch, notification panel, menu, or command center don't leave much room for complaint either. What's next? Yes, allow me to talk about the performance side of things now. Powered by the flagship-grade Qualcomm Snapdragon 4100 chipset, everything is so smooth here. To note, besides the Pro 3, the TicWatch E3 is the only other smartwatch to feature this powerful silicone for now. Compared to its predecessor, the Wear 3100 from back in 2018, Qualcomm says Wear 4100 offers 85% better CPU and memory performance, 2.5 times faster GPU, 2 times better camera experience, and better battery endurance. Anyway, I'm loving the Wear OS experience on the TicWatch E3 so far. From launching apps, selecting menus to UI transitions, it's smooth sailing here. The incoming notifications are actionable, of course, plus it supports emojis, Nepali Unicode font, and even images. Sweet. However, the built-in vibration motor in here is just too weak, to the point where I've missed multiple alerts, and this is not something that can be fixed with a firmware update. Anyway, what I've found surprising on the TicWatch E3 is swipe typing on such a small screen has been quite accurate throughout my usage. Then there's the freedom to install from thousands of apps on the Play Store. From Google Maps, Telegram, Viber, Spotify, Shazam to AccuWeather, it's all there. The TicWatch E3 also supports making calls and messages from the watch itself, and the call quality is pretty impressive. People on the receiving end described my voice as loud and clear. Despite this, the onboard speaker is subpar only since calls sound a little noisy here. On a different note, you might know that Google and Samsung recently inked a deal to merge Wear and Tizen OS, two of the best smartwatch platforms. With the powerful chipset at helm, I am hopeful that the TicWatch E3 will get this update too. Okay, in terms of health and fitness tracking features, the TicWatch E3 brags 21 workout modes under Tic Exercise. As expected, this smartwatch boasts auto workout detection as well. Mobvoi calls it Tic Motion, but disappointingly, it can only recognize 3 types of exercises: walking, running, and cycling. During my usage, the watch was able to accurately track my workout sessions. Its auto pause feature is another handy tool to have. Besides the standard metrics like heart rate, calories, distance, and speed, the E3 can also monitor VO2 max levels all through the exercise and even lap your workouts. And thanks to the inbuilt GPS, you will not need to carry around your smartphone if you wish to trail your exercises as well. By itself, the TicWatch E3 was able to lock to a GPS signal impressively fast enough, be it in outdoors or indoor situations. Looking at the recorded map in the Mobvoi app, I cannot complain about their accuracy either. Apart from this, there is practically every health monitoring feature here that you would expect from a flagship smartwatch. It has 24-hour heart rate, SpO2, stress, and sleep monitoring. Still, their all-day aspect is a little questionable here. Looking up the 24-hour data, we can notice that it settles for hourly records only. Nevertheless, you can enable alerts against abnormal heart rate during regular usage or when you are in a workout. The TicWatch E3 also graphs your daily heart rate zones under different categories like an aerobic, cardio, fat burn, warm-up, and resting for a detailed insight. But weirdly enough, the data is only available on the watch and not on the companion app. Okay, moving on, continuous SpO2 tracking has been one of the most sought after features right now during the pandemic, and this device does not disappoint. The watch can also remind you of abnormal blood oxygen levels, which is fantastic. Likewise, its stress recording is quite impressive too. However, the manual stress monitoring on the TicWatch E3 is the slowest I've ever seen on a smartwatch. Moving on, for the most part, sleep monitoring on this smartwatch has been pretty much spot on during my usage. But for reasons unknown, this smartwatch recorded me being awake mid-sleep practically every day. I can absolutely vouch for this inaccuracy because I tend to sleep like a log. Anyway, Mobvoi substitutes sleep score found in most other smartwatches with sleep efficiency instead, which is the same thing but it's represented in percentage. Besides this, the TicWatch E3 records your nightly heart rate and SpO2 levels as well. All these data sync with the Mobvoi app, and they recently updated the UI and UX for their app. Still, I must say the company has a lot of work to do if it wants to level with the industry's frontrunners. Finally, let's get into the battery life of this smartwatch. Fueled by a 380 mAh battery, Mobvoi says that this watch should last you 1 to 1.5 days, and that's precisely what my tests have concluded as well. If you're low on power, the essential mode comes to the rescue, which turns on automatically once the battery level hits 5% too. For longer endurance, this mode restricts your smartwatch experience to the most basic information only and resting heart rate level when pressing the button on the bottom right. On the charging front, the TicWatch E3 uses a proprietary bean-shaped magnetic connector, which takes around 1 hour and 30 minutes to fully juice up the watch. To wrap it all up, I am thoroughly impressed with what Mobvoi has managed to deliver with the TicWatch E3. It's almost like a flagship killer for smartwatches. The powerful Wear 4100 platform makes the Wear OS experience also enjoyable on this relatively affordable device of its kind. For core fitness enthusiasts, the company's decision to cut costs in the design and display department to offer a supreme smartwatch experience with a bunch of health tracking features makes all the sense. Yet, that's not to say that the TicWatch E3 is perfect. Even disregarding its inferior build quality, LCD screen, and soft vibration motor, there are a few inconsistencies with the exercise modes, and sleep monitoring needs further refinement as well. And not to forget, the Mobvoi companion app still has a long way to go. Despite all this, I still believe that the TicWatch E3 is an excellent value for money smartwatch, easily outclassing most other alternatives inside the $200 price bracket. So that was all for our full review of the all-new Mobvoi TicWatch E3. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. Till then, I'm Pratima Adhikari and I'll see you in the next video.